With us now is Betsy Tinney, who is in the process of a Kickstarter campaign. Hello, Betsy.
Hi.
What can you tell us about your Kickstarter campaign?
Well, it is a Kickstarter campaign to fund my first solo album. I have been recording for the last 15 years with all sorts of different groups as their cellist, and now I am recording as my own cellist for myself, basically, and this is my first solo album.
Well, we
Except in
understand.
the way of such things, I will have a few people with me on other tracks, but since I'm getting started on my own, hence the Kickstarter.
Very good. We understand that you have been, like you say, doing this for some 15 years. You started out with Gaia Consort, didn't you?
That was my first non-classical gig, yes.
Okay. Well, you obviously had classical gigs before. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Well, it was actually mostly as an amateur musician, which is to say I wasn't getting paid. So I guess I maybe couldn't call them gigs, but I went to school for music, and then I promptly went into the high-tech industry, and that was good financially, maybe not as much fun creatively speaking, but I continued while I was in the high-tech industry to perform with orchestras, high-end amateur orchestras, on the East Coast when I lived there, and then here when I moved here. So my most recent classical orchestra was the East Side Symphony, which is based out of Redmond, Washington.
Ah, very good. Well, we understand.
And I was the principal for that, but sorry, didn't mean to interrupt
Oh,
you.
no,
I was
no.
the principal for that, but I have to say that playing in bands is a lot more fun.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You are part of several bands that are touring at the moment, are you not?
I play with whoever I get a chance to when they're nearby, and sometimes I fly to meet them. So let's see. I've just finished a short tour with S.J. Tucker and also Tricky Pixie. We spent most of the month of July playing together, and S.J. has just departed for Denver, and I came back up to Redmond, which is where I live in Washington. So I also, when I get a chance, play with the Heather Dale Band, but they haven't made it out west in a while. So, and I also play with Betsy and Tony, which is a four-person duo based out of Seattle. It's Betsy and Tony and Betsy and Sonny, cello and viola, violin, respectively. Those are the main ones.
Okay. I was reading on your website and I came across I think it's a reference to a television show of all things. It says you were part of New Directions, which, if memory serves me right, is the group on Glee.
No, actually, it's probably something with the same name. New Directions Cello Association, short called the NDCA, it's faster, is a non-classical cello association founded by non-classical cellist Chris White. And I don't think it's associated with Glee or TV.
Other than the fact that it just shares a name.
It shares a name.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty
New
sure.
Directions is a group of cellists who play. We're basically associated by the fact that we are non-classical and are kind of branching out in all sorts of new directions. So.
Oh, very good. Well, at least we know that more than likely your New Directions came first. Anyway.
I don't know. Some of the folks in New Directions have been going at it a long time. They're a wonderful resource and also an inspiration.
Well, in addition to touring and performing with the various bands, we understand you also teach and do session work.
Yeah, I have a few adult students. I used to teach kids also, and my schedule is too crazy, and kids need a regular lesson time. But my adult students are, happy to get me when I'm here. And yeah, I also will record with whoever needs a cellist, pretty much.
Yeah, we have been lucky enough to catch you performing with S.J. Tucker at FerryCon East, one of the few places we were able to get to.
I've done that last couple of years.
Yes, and we did enjoy it very much. You're very talented.
Thank you. We enjoyed it too. It's a great con.
Yes. We would like to also point out that in addition to being a musician, you're a visual artist, you do calligraphy,
Yeah.
you do web design, and you develop web pages.
Yeah, among other things, but those are the main things.
Uh,
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a jack of all trades, but there are a lot of, I have many creative outlets. I also make jewelry.
oh,
So,
well, we'll be hoping to see some of that on your web page eventually.
yeah,
Okay,
again, it's a function of time.
yes.
You
Okay,
know. The
speaking of,
music tends to take priority when push comes to shove.
yes, it does.
Um,
Speaking of web pages, we should promote you a little bit. That's betsytinney.com, correct?
yeah.
Uh,
Or stealthcello.com will take you to the same place, like Stealth Bomber, only cello.
very good.
So,
Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the
um,
time today and talking with us. We are
okay.
going
Can
to,
I tell you a little bit about the Kickstarter in progress,
oh, please do, please
just real
do.
briefly? The new album is going to be called Release the Cello, and my Kickstarter will be going until I believe it's August 25th. So if you just go to Kickstarter.com and search for Release the Cello, you should find me. But we have a lot of fun rewards, including things like, as I mentioned earlier, that I make jewelry, and some of the rewards include necklaces made from played-out cello strings. And we also have visual art, which I was originally thinking I would do myself, but my daughter wants to arm wrestle me for the privilege, and she's better. She's really good.
Very good. Well,
So all sorts of other things. So that is Release the Cello. That's the name of the new album.
okay. Well, we cannot guarantee that this interview will go out in time to really help anyone promote, but
That's all right.
we do understand that you already are fully funded.
Yes, we reached the 100% mark, and now we are um, going on our first stretch goal, which is to add a couple of tracks to the album, and also to bring Tricky Pixie in to perform at the release concert, and also to produce a video that all backers would get of that release concert.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to have to make sure that Myth Music of the Podcast does indeed help you out with that. We will be making a
Awesome.
donation.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Betsy Tinney. It's been a pleasure
You
talking
bet.
with you.
It's been a pleasure talking with you, too. Thank
Okay.
you.
We thank you for your time, and we
You
wish
bet.
you many, many more albums to come.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.